that they could barely afford any real thing, right? The number is no longer a blessing. It has become a curse. How do you feed them? How do you provide health care for them? How do you keep them safe? These are supposed to be the priority, but it's not their priority. It has never been. And that is why they can play with your lives, gamble with it, and begin to ask you to, are you not happy? Are you not happy that the naira is coming down? The time the naira is going up, you are talking and talking. Oh, short dead, yeni. Now so you read it, Tony. Do you think life is all about what you want to hear? Okay, yeah, now you are hearing it. Nigeria naira to dollar is now 400 naira. Would that make you happy? When people can still afford, they can never afford. Like more and more people are falling into the bracket of those that cannot afford to buy basic things. And these guys are gambling with your lives. They are gambling with your savings. They are gambling with your investment. They are gambling with your insurance. They are gambling with your health. They are gambling with your life. And they can keep doing it back and forth. Because they can count on you that you are going to wish them well. You are going to believe what they say. And you are going to pray that what they are saying, may God help them. And the moment they fail you, shameless you will be looking for who to gaslight. And there's something they say, the dildo of consequences is highly and well lubricated. As they say that bad governance is a stray bullet. It doesn't discriminate. It's the same thing with the dildo of consequences. It is well lubricated. And that is the part where they say Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria no happens. So once Nigeria, they happen to you, right? My mom will say, please, don't do me, you. Is one of my mom's popular saying. I was so young and I'm like, she was metaphorically, saying, what I am facing is not physical, but I can feel the thrusting. I can feel the gravity of it. So please stay away. And that's what Nigeria is. Everyone who, whether directly or indirectly, whether you are in support or you are not, especially those of you who are in support, hoping that somehow what you are expecting is a better deal from these rogues, but they gave you the worst of the worst deal. The dildo of consequences is always well lubricated. You will feel it. I just hope that you'll be bold enough to, wishes don't run a country. You can win it. I mean, you can use propaganda to seize power. And from my own experience, you will need more than a propaganda to run a country. You will actually have to do the job. But these ones, I don't think so. The rogues that the rogue that escaped, Yeye Bello of Kogi, Yeye Adoza Bello, the wanted thief of Kogi. Number one is not missing. Yeye Bello is not missing. And I don't know if it is just me. Have you seen the same EFCC freeze his bank account, begin to take his properties? Because it seems so unusual. I mean, Yeye Bello still have access to money. He does. He still have access to protection. They know Yeye Bello is inside the Lugard house, government house in Lokoja. They know. but they have arrested those policemen that they blame for his escape from the grip of the EFCC in Abuja 2 days ago. You know, normally they have told him, Bas Station local report, all right. Bas Station local report, all right. Yeye Bello is yet to surface in the last 72 hours. But the policemen, according to the report, the policemen that sort of shielded him from being arrested, they have been detained and they are being held responsible for Bello's escape. Some others are already calling on the Kogi State House of Assembly to do something about the Olodo that smuggled him out of the grip of the EFCC. Olodo, who happened to be the product of the same Yeye Bello, who endorsed and certified an office for Yeye Bello, an office called, a newly created office called the Office of the Ex-Governor. So as for Yeye Bello to enjoy police protection like a governor and still kind of parade himself, pretty much look at himself like a governor. Yeye Bello happened to be the youngest governor in Nigeria when he became governor of Kogi State. Somebody said, at least many of his mates are stealing more than that money. And another person responded, shut up your mouth. There's no mate of Yeye Bello that stole over 80 billion in Nigeria as a governor, because there is no Yeye Bello's age mate that ever becomes governor. Not before him and not after him. So he's the youngest governor. So if you are going to talk about leadership, Nigerian leadership, where a lot of people believe that the old relic, the criminal old politicians who never want to let go, they're saying they are the problem. No, they're not. Majority of you are just waiting for your turn to wreak your own havoc. If Nigeria can be put on eBay and somebody is ready to pay, some of you are willing to make the deal without giving a damn to whatever happens to those who are inside the place. They can find a place, they can find their own place as long as you get paid. You are worse than them, no doubt, but you are learning from them. And they say, you see, when you learn from your masters, you are expected to be better than them, don't you? Yeah, you are expected to. And that's why Yeye Bello, who called himself a lion, at the time he was governor, he actually saw himself like a king that was going to be there forever. On one occasion, he had a chance of bragging to his own people, "Emi white lion, Kogi is my den." White lion to the white chicken, or a crossbreed lion and chicken. Watch the end of this video.
Let me tell you, just a while ago, while I was coming from Abuja, back to my territory, to my day, the lion's day, an antelope crossed the road. Let this be the first and last.
I'm watching you. I will not caution again. I will not warn again. You will hear it.
A few moments later.
God have mercy upon us.
Do you know? Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. I know. Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Do you know? GYB máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. We know. GYB máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Ìwọ Yaya. You Yaya. Kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ? Kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ? Ẹni tí mo bẹ́ lórí tó ń tẹ̀nu wúyẹ́. Kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ? Do you know? Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. I know.
Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Do you know? Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. But that kind of a rhyme is actually a tune. I think somebody actually makes that up sometimes. When that video came out, they put the sound into it. Do you know Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba not? I know Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Do you know? Like that. I want to do that like, I think it's the left one like that. Do you know Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba? No, Yaya Bello máa. E no go ṣẹ̀wọ̀n. Nigerian court says nobody should arrest him, nobody should prosecute him for stealing 80 billion naira from the people of Kogi State, making them one of the poorest states in Nigeria. Unpaid workers, unpaid contractors, unfinished projects. But here, we are having a media trial. Listen to this. Nigerian court ruled, and this man is not having it. I'll show you. Yeye Bello. Do you know Yeye Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba? No.
Yeah, it might, lawyers are so disposed to say, oh, whatever court order obey, and that's true. But at the same time, we should in the same breath say, why should some courts act so unjudicial? I mean, I don't understand why anybody should give an order at large, say somebody cannot be arrested, questioned, investigated. I mean, it's totally unjudicial. Because the freedom that the law gives you is freedom from protection. There's no harm against a citizen being investigated. So I think the judicial jurisprudence is so poor. If it's not mischief, it's just elementary lack of knowledge. I mean, so perpetually, just like the one they gave to Odele at a point, so perpetually, it shouldn't be quizzed. It shouldn't be, assuming they're able to commit a crime now, kill somebody as ex-governor, the police is restrained from asking, inviting. I think there should be a judicial policy from the Supreme Court saying, in fact, it's something that somebody should be sacked for misconduct. Why should they give to look, you can give an order restraining them from doing XYZ within a period of time and say return day, they should come and explain why they should do that in the next 2 days. But these orders are ridiculous, and it's not good for judicial, for legal profession for us to emphasize obey customary order, obey kangaroo order because it's a judicial order. Yes, that's true. At the same time, in the same breath, it takes you to tango. There's the other side of dignity of the court, that judges themselves should not be used to make ridiculous orders against state institutions that have constitutional work to do. For example, nobody should make an order restraining police from inviting, investigating anybody. But that's really unconstitutional. Now, back to the point around Yaya Bello. I think it's really sad. Look, you should borrow a leaf from the royal brewer called Cubano High Priest. He said something very important. He said, when they invite you, go there. That's what Cubana said. He said, go there. The EFC doesn't kill anybody. Look, this is a governor for 8 years who appointed Attorney General, who understands how the court works. He shouldn't be afraid of an indictment. There are many people who EFC have indicted. A few of them have escaped, quashed and discharged and acquitted. Some are still on trial, but traveling, doing other things. Even some are still government officials who have cases in the FCC. I mean, in this government, there are plenty of them, including the Senate President himself has cases. Several have cases. So it's actually, it tells a story of deep disorientation and I mean, this is like a comical character who is now, and again, we must talk about the acting governor who lent himself, presumably, to an illegality.
No, the present governor.
Sorry, the present governor. The present governor, I'm sorry, not acting. The present governor who lent, use instrument of his immunity and take control. But the bigger scandal here is, I think we'll probably get to that. Why does the security forces work? That time was EFCC, the military fighting. Why are they so disorganized?
Yeah.
Why
it raises the issue of rivalry between the security agencies, doesn't
I mean, look, corruption. We saw, when I was an advisor to the Senate President, we saw Chimaroke's police fighting with Ken Namane's police over protocol. I mean, so look at the story. The police security officers feel more obliged to their principal who pay them and give them kickbacks and kick front and everything than to the state. It's a deep-seated corruption in the police force that they don't serve the country, they serve the big men who parade them.
70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Is that you?
Nigeria is in crisis. And this crisis, some of you will look at them and you will laugh. I understand that sometimes, okay, when situation is beyond crying, or if you have actually teared up, you've cried and you do not have any tears left, sometimes you just laugh. That's what we say in Yoruba. We say sometimes the situation can be beyond crying. And when situation is beyond crying, like it's so bad that you want to cry, but tears are not coming anymore. Sometimes it's just going to be better to just laugh. Some people don't like it. Like, what is funny? We are talking about serious thing, all of you are laughing. No, that's all they have to do. I mean, a lot of us have actually cried internally, like, why? Nigeria is in crisis, and it is a big one. And there is a trickle effect of what all of this you have been hearing. There's a trickle effect that it's going to have on the majority of those who are like below the ladder, the ones that they call the poor. Corruption is so bad that it bears poverty. Poverty is so bad that it dehumanizes man. And poverty is so terrible and so bad that it will enhance the rise in crimes, different kind of crimes, to the point that to even help those who have become the victims of a failed country called Nigeria, to say you want to help them, that in itself could actually be a total call for problems on yourself too. It is that bad that poverty has has sort of blinded the people so much that they do not mind to make victims of everyone. We are victims, so you too should be victim. And it's because we are poor now. About people who have put their own hard-earned money on enterprises, where out of sympathy, they felt like they were creating something, helping every little help. Businesses here and there that Nigerians they ran them down. They destroyed them, and the owners, they were left to lick their wounds. Country had. But the poorest of the poor that you are thinking of helping so that you can actually build an economy that you can maybe survive. I feel sorry for this guy, but it is an example of what Nigeria is, especially a corrupt country that these criminals have created. And the reason why the criminals in Nigeria who created this failed country, the reason why they continue to have those who still defend or support them is because they are just pure reflection of the rogues and then the born criminals too, that the system, these criminals that the system has sort of popped up, those who are waiting for their own turn. I have seen videos where your supposed employee became your greatest undoing for your business. Poultry business, store business, that business, and then you pick somebody that you believe that, oh, you are helping them economically by giving them a job, and they target your business until you will lose it, so that all of us can remain poor. You will be in debt, they will be jobless, and everybody can go back and start complaining about how bad the government is, how bad the politicians are. How do you describe this? If you are a new startup in Nigeria or anywhere, how would you describe this experience?
As I said, the egg shot yesterday. The egg shot yesterday. Now, I know that the egg shot yesterday. What made the egg short? These are the things that make the egg short. Can you see? The egg that is here is more than 2 crates.
It passed. It passed.
So I'm going to owe 3 people that is working in this pen. Responsible.
Hey! We know they take it for this one. We know they take it for this one.
Jesus.
You see, I'm not taking it for this one. You see, yesterday.
Hold on. Go and bring money. Go and bring like 10 crates. Bring 10 crates. Go and bring 10 crates for me. 10 crates. I want to know how many crates they kept here. Go and bring empty crates for me. I'm going to hold 3 people that is working inside this pen responsible for this case.
I don't mind about many times. I don't complain about this. Man, they take this thing, they do like this. They do like this.
So who is doing this thing? Who is that person?
Manager. That is why I'm happy because of the economy.
We will use this thing now. Find everything what they do for this pen, for this farm.
Jesus.
Who is doing this thing?
Jesus.
Nobody has said that is the one. I mean, this farm, this egg, come and pack himself here.
Jesus.
Eh? The egg pack himself, put himself here.
Even the people responsible for that stealing, they are there shouting, "Hey, Shineke! Hey, God! Hey, my God! Hey, how could anybody do this? Oh, my God!" Like that. And it happens everywhere. It does. Some of them will take your stuff and they will suddenly become fatter. They are skinnier when they come into your work. But when they are leaving, they are fatter. Stealing. Because they will tell you, sorry, it's because our salary is not enough for me. It's because, I have 5 children and my husband is not working. Oh, my wife is dead. That is why I'm stealing from you. Like, do you actually know what it takes these farmers or what they have been going through since this economic jihad of APC started? Have you not been seeing some of them having to no, now, number one, what it takes you to actually feed those chickens to lay eggs. If you know, it's like they are eating money for those who have poultries to feed your chickens, to feed from broiler to what they are before they become laying eggs. It is like they are eating money. You will be watching them and you'll be seeing your 100,000 naira worth of feed gone like it's nothing. And you have to do the same thing. Next month, you have to do the same thing another month. And you feed them that much. And you are still paying those who are working there. But they blame you for their poverty. Please have mercy now. Have mercy of God. Have mercy on us now. You know that we are poor. You know that we are poor. I've got 5 children. I am suffering. I don't have this or that. But if you don't find out, you are running your business at loss. Finally, you are unable to pay them anymore. And then, they don't even mind. Don't pay us. At least we make more money from stealing your egg or stealing your chicken. So if you catch them, they will gaslight you. They will shout God. They will use God. They will use everything to kind of threaten you. And you'll become a bad person. Now so rich people, they do. That is why I don't like rich people. They have been begging him since yesterday. Now he's threatening that he's going to arrest them. He's already told the police. If you arrest them now, who is going to be feeding their children? That's why I don't like all these rich people. They will blame you. And that is what a corrupt country does. Corrupt country creates poverty. Since poverty is inequality, then it will create so many other crimes that are always going to be there. In that poverty state, even those of you who believe that you are better off, they will draw you down. They will drag you down. They will pull you until you find yourself inside that pit of poverty. A lot of us we are paying black taxes, and we are trying to get a cure from that. And we should probably be holding in August. We should be